We're back. Now we get into my favorite subject, and that is my favorite topic, I should say, and that is why we should re-elect President Obama. I know I have my own personal reasons, but I want to hear from you guys first. And we'll start with you, Barbara, and then we'll go to you, Steve.
Okay, I think we should re-elect the president because we knew that this was not a four-year term could not do what he wanted to do. We realized that. What he inherited, the debt, the unemployment, the low turnout, the schools, the war. He's taken those jobs one by one. He's tackled those. We've saved General Motors. We've become #1. We've decreased the foreclosures. We've lowered the interest rates so homeowners can now afford a home. We do not want him to not be able to complete his job. He started a job. We want him to finish that job. We knew, he knew. He said to us, it would not be easy. I like what he said at the convention. He said, when I was campaigning before, I was the candidate. Now I am the president. That makes all the difference in the world. We need to elect someone who is qualified. I can't stress that enough. This is not a time to put a novice in the White House.
And Steve?
No, you're right. We don't need a novice. More importantly, we need somebody who's not going to stand for the other 47%, whatever that means. We need somebody who's going to stand for the 100%. And this president has shown again and again and again that he's willing to reach across the aisle to make things happen. My impression of the Republicans is they don't want to do that. They have never wanted to do that. They are steadfast with one objective, which is see Barack Obama as a one-term president. And that's all it's about. It's about gaining political power or scoring political points and never do anything with the political power you gain except, benefit your buddies and trash everybody else who doesn't think like you. And that's not the type of president we need or want. And that's why one of the reasons it's so important that we make sure this president gets reelected.
And how would it benefit the young people?
I want to just interject one thing. When we talk about a blue state or a red state, the president says it's not a blue state or a red state, it's the United States. United. And I think this president, at his State of the Union address, got the Democrats and the Republicans to cross the aisle and sit together. Because he realizes that whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, we've got issues that we've got to work together on. And just symbolically, getting a Republican to sit over here and a Democrat to sit over there, it sends a message not to just the United States, but to the world, that the United States is a model of how democracy should operate and how it can operate.
So quickly, just tell me, how would this benefit, how is this going to benefit the young people? Because as Urban Socialite magazine and website, we really try to reach out to the younger generation because we know a lot of times they're so caught up into fashions, into money this and car that and house that, and not looking at the bigger picture that they need to look at for their future. So how will electing President Obama, if we could say this real quickly, how will it affect the young people, or why they should elect to re-elect him again?
Okay, he's working on his Pell Grants, making sure young people can go to school, reducing the interest, deferring the loans, letting you stay on your parents' insurance longer, making sure that you can get out of college and get a job and not have to focus so much on your debt. And even with Social Security, even though young people may have another perception about Social Security, when they realize they can't live until the end of the month, they need to realize, can I live when I get 66? Because they can't save. So just those programs of educating them on not just now, but the future. Because I like to say, I believe President Obama, young people may see today, he sees tomorrow.
Gotcha.
Well, yeah, another issue, everything Barbara said is dead on accurate. But the other thing is, you look at issues like credit card reform, usury lending practices that get all sorts of young people in trouble.
Yes.
And got me in trouble.
Hey.
I wish I could tap some of those programs in some respects. But the reforms that President Clinton and the Democrats pushed through in the first 2 years were tremendously important in reducing the burden and protecting young voters and their pocketbook over the long term. Not that you shouldn't be frugal, not that you shouldn't, tap out your credit card every month, because you shouldn't, but you've got protection now that you didn't have before. Your interest rate's not going to be jacked up to 40%. because of what this president has done. He's looking out for you. So back him up.
Okay. And now, what do you guys think, thoughts on same-sex marriages? As far as I know, Obama has already said that he supports it, or he supports this. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that?
I tell you my thoughts with the president's statement, and I really had mixed feelings initially because I know a lot of people are focused in one direction, and I didn't want that to impact on the election. But I really think the president's not trying to decide what you should or should not do. He's just saying you have the right. That's a big difference.
It is.
Yeah, I've said this before. I think it is inevitable that marriage equality is going to occur. I think ultimately we're on the right side of the issue. There is a portion of the country who's not quite ready for that yet. I understand that. It's going to be an evolutionary process, but I think the president's on the right side of the issue.
Okay, awesome. Well, let me just say thank you guys so much for taking out your busy schedule to come down and sit with Urban Socialite, the Social Life Show. I really appreciate it. I'm sure our audience will appreciate it. You have gave us some really insightful information, Barbara and Steve. And I hope that by them viewing this video, it'll get them out to not only register, but to actually go out and vote, because that's what's important. You can register all day, but if you don't go out and
Exactly.
vote, then it's not going to really count. So,
Exactly. It was our pleasure.
thank
And
you.
thank you so much.
All right. Until next time, make sure you tune in to Urban Socialite Magazine. Also, you can check us out on our website, which is www.urbansocialite.com, or you can check us out on Facebook. Until then, be blessed. We'll talk to you later.